You know, most of us think we know the story of the Tower of Babel. But let me tell you, the version you heard in Sunday school, that's just the trailer. We're about to dive into the epic, untold saga behind one of history's most famous tales, piecing it all together from ancient texts like Genesis, Jubilees, and the Book of Joshua. Now, while these aren't in the standard biblical canon for most people, they give us this incredibly rich, detailed narrative of what really went down. Because that's exactly what these accounts describe. A story that doesn't start with bricks and mortar, but with a quiet, shocking betrayal right after the Great Flood. A betrayal that sets the stage for an all-out war against heaven itself. Okay, so picture this. The world has been completely cleansed. Humanity gets a total do-over with Noah and his family. And for a moment, there's this pure, holy peace. A baseline of order has been set. But yeah, that peace, it wasn't going to last long. This right here, this is that perfect moment. Noah makes a righteous sacrifice, and that sweet savor, that smell, it symbolizes this restored harmony between humanity and God. Everything is exactly as it should be. But in the shadows of this beautiful celebration, the very first crack in this new world is about to appear. So the familiar story focuses on that first step, right? The disrespect. But the Book of Joshua adds this absolutely world-altering detail. This wasn't just about disrespect. No, this was a heist. Ham steals the sacred garments of God, the actual coats of skin made for Adam and Eve. And this divine artifact, it becomes the power source for the entire rebellion to come. And that stolen power, well, it needs someone to wield it. Enter the main antagonist of our saga, Nimrod. He's not just some king or a mighty hunter. He is the one who inherits the corrupting power of those stolen garments. I mean, come on, his destiny is baked right into his name. Nimrod literally means rebel. His very identity is a flashing red light foreshadowing the insane role he's about to play in leading humanity's second great rebellion. And this is his power-up moment, total anime style. After his father, Cush, gives him the hidden garments, Nimrod puts them on. The Book of Joshua says a supernatural strength immediately flows into him. This is the moment a man becomes a legend, transformed by a stolen, holy power he was never ever meant to have. And he immediately puts that power to the test. With a tiny, almost laughable force of about 500 men, he starts achieving impossible victories. This number is so important. It proves his strength wasn't in numbers or strategy. It was coming from the divine artifact he wore. He was literally unstoppable. These insane victories lead directly to power. His kinsmen, who are both terrified and amazed by him, place a crown on his head. He becomes king, and his kingdom, founded right there in the land of Shinar, is the first great empire after the flood, an empire built entirely on rebellion. So now you've got a superpowered king in charge, and the rebellion just escalates. It's not just one man's ambition anymore. It's a unified project for all of humanity. And their goal? It's no longer about conquering the earth. Oh no, they're aiming higher. They want to conquer heaven itself. And you can see their whole mindset in how they built this thing. They choose not to use natural stone, the material of God's creation. Instead, they bake their own bricks and use slime for mortar. It's this huge symbolic rejection of the created order, a declaration that they will build their own world, their own way. Their methods were defiant, but their goals, pure insanity. According to the Book of Joshua, they had a 3-part war plan. This wasn't about making a name for themselves, like the Sunday school version says. This was an explicit, open declaration of war on heaven. They genuinely believed they could go up there and overthrow the Creator. So the rebellion is at its absolute peak. They've built this impossible tower, they're totally united in their purpose, and they are openly challenging the heavens. And now we get to the climax, the divine response. Right? What is the consequence for that kind of audacity? Does a lightning bolt just come down and vaporize them all? Well, according to these texts, the judgment is way more ironic and way more terrifying. First, a chilling sign. As they shoot their arrows up toward heaven, the arrows fall back down, dripping with blood. And the builders, they cheer. They think they've actually wounded the armies of heaven. But it's just a divine mockery, a sign of the bloodshed they're about to inflict on themselves.
See, God doesn't destroy them with fire from above. He just removes the one thing holding their entire rebellion together, their common language. And instantly, their unity shatters into absolute chaos. They can't communicate anymore, and their massive project turns into a slaughterhouse as they start killing each other in the confusion.
The war's over. Humanity has lost. And the consequences of this single event will permanently reshape the world and define the entire rest of human history. The tower itself is just annihilated. Jesher describes this incredible three-part destruction. A third of it is swallowed by the earth, another third is consumed by fire from heaven, and only a final, ruined third is left standing as a permanent monument to their arrogance. And that scattering, it wasn't peaceful. Not at all. According to Jubilees, the moment humanity was divided by language, they turned on each other. They captured cities, they took slaves, and they began to teach their children warfare. The fall of the tower was the violent birth of the world of nations and conflict we still know today.
So why does all this matter? Because according to these ancient accounts, the fundamental fractures in our world, the reason we have different languages, different nations, constant conflicts, it can all be traced back to this one single event. A rebellion that began with a stolen garment and ended with a scattered humanity forever living in the shadow of a broken tower.